No, they can't get you back. No, no, they can't. No, they can't. No. Oh, oh.
What is good, guys? It's Arsenal versus Manchester City. Big game today. Really looking forward to this. Most people really don't know what to expect. Last season, Arsenal just stomping over everybody. Man City being dreadful. They got beat 4-0 against Spurs, and then they came into the Emirates Stadium and just got absolutely destroyed, which is Pep Guardiola's biggest loss at 5-1. Today's different because Rodri, after the Napoli game, he's fit today, so Rodri's going to start. But Arsenal go with Raya, they go with Calafiori, Saliba's back, Gabriel and Timber. And the midfield is exactly where I thought it was going to be. For all the reasons I thought it was going to be, which is Moreno and Declan Rice and Zubimendi. Now, in this instance, I've talked about Ethan Nwaneri. I've talked about the game that he actually brings us and what he's doing right. He's taking care of the ball right. He's helping the game flow. But as a number 10, he's not creating anything. And he certainly doesn't look as dangerous in terms of a score threat when he's on. And in games like this, that's just not going to cut it. The better option is to go with Mikel Moreno. Number one, because he provides all the little setup plays around the box. Number two, as an extra midfielder, he creates those overloads and just is winning those aerial duels. And he's just helping to dominate and stifle out opponents' midfields. This kind of quartet is probably the best midfield off the ball possession, probably in Europe, if I have to say that. The fact that Arsenal have not let a goal in from outside, from outfield play, speaks to a testament of how good this setup is that Mikel Arteta has. Where things have changed, though, he's taken Eze out. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. As the home fans, probably the biggest game would be in Eze's career as an Arsenal player against Man City, powerhouse, and you really want to play in a game like this. But I think if we tail it back to, are you putting in a performance because everything's up for grabs now? To get that starting role, you got to work hard for it. Eze's got a couple of good assists, but his overall play, I think, is still roughly average. We haven't seen the best of Eze yet. And that's not why he's dropped. He's probably dropped because of what we've seen from Trossard. Trossard coming off the bench 3 times has just looked so good. And he's helping to turn games around, goals and assists. And he just looks on it. And we have to go with that mindset rather than the mindset where Arteta started Martinelli for them 2 games because he thought he was going to do well. With no evidence, and I said that to you guys before, with no evidence that Martinelli deserved a starting spot, he put him in those 2 games against Liverpool and Man City and against Man United and Liverpool. And by all accounts, Martinelli just flopped. And I think this is the right thing to do with Trossard. You've played your way into the team. Let's see what you've got. And then the reverse matters, doesn't it? So what I mean by that is, if you're Eze now and you're coming on after 60, 70 minutes, then it's your turn to shine. Yeah, it's that time for you to shine. On the other side, Madueke starts, which I think is the right thing to do because Saka's back. But Saka will most likely be eased in with substitution appearance, maybe today, maybe in midweek in the cup game, and then he'll probably start against Newcastle. So after coming away from the game and missing all those games with a long layoff, this isn't a game you want to come straight back into. So I think that also is the right thing to do. This is good man management there by Mikel Arteta. And then obviously Gyökeres up front. Then this league, guys, is about winning. It's about getting 3 points every week, regardless of the great, wonderful football and all the other stuff you guys want to see. It's about winning. And if you can stop teams from scoring, and you can score at the other end, then you're pretty much there. So I understand the Moreno philosophy, but I do expect Odegaard to come back in when he's ready. At the moment, that's not the case. So we'll continue to go at Moreno. And guys, Moreno's coming off playing his best game for Arsenal the other week. So again, I wouldn't understand why there would be some of you that would be disappointed with that move. That being said, the balance and creativity and the supply to Gyökeres has been improving. I thought actually Gyökeres had his best game as an Arsenal player against Athletic Club, much more involved. I don't know what we're going to see today, because I do have to say last season Arsenal was the 11th most direct team in the league. This season we're the second most direct team in the league, and that means that we've had 9 long balls played from our half into the striker. That is creating that, sort of quick movement. And you guys have to think, some of you lot are probably saying, yeah, that's what we should be doing, that's what we should. But the reason why Arteta has set up his team tactically, where we don't play that way and we do take possession as gold, because the longer we have the ball, and the other team doesn't have the ball, the less chance they've got of scoring with us. But number one, when you break quickly, and this is going out to all them Tottenham fans, when you break quickly, it's like a rubber band effect. So if you lose the ball will be coming back twice as quick. And so that's what leads to all the counter press mistakes and letting those quick goals in. And we don't have that in our game. Because the build-up play is slow, it's assured, the shape is continually compact, moving up the field, we are not accessible to those issues as well as other teams are. So there's a reason, everything is by design, guys. There's a reason why Arteta sets his teams up this way, in order to get this kind of philosophy going that he needs. So I know some of you lot are saying, yeah, we need more quick balls into Gyökeres and blah, 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 blah. And it has been happening, but it's at the detriment effect of us being exposed on a counter press. So that's where it is. But that doesn't discount the fact, as I said, that we are moving the ball quicker up the field, because Gyökeres is a different type of striker. And I think that's the reason why Havertz probably suits the system better, because he is a guy who can drop back and is more involved in the build-up play, and that helps. But when you're in a mid-block, it's great. When you're in a low block, it's frustrating, because then you've got no one to penetrate in the box. But I would love to see Madueke come out and score a goal today. I just would love Madueke goal today, Gyökeres goal today, simply because there's still those people out there that are calling Gyökeres, a flat track bully, a Division 1 player. And I think having 4 goals in 5 games would just say, look, okay, he's getting it done. We're early in the season and he's getting it done. So that just dispels all of this rubbish talk that he's not ready at this level. I mean, we all know it's rubbish talk, but just the numbers don't lie. So we continually need that to keep moving forward. But yeah, I'm going for a 2-1 Arsenal win today. And I'm looking for our centre-backs to pull a number on Haaland. It would be nice if it was 2-0 or even 1-0 to Arsenal. I'll pretty much take anything as long as we get the 3 points. It's practically critical right now that we actually bring these results home. The Liverpool result was a fluke result, and some people are going mad. The fact that we're not keeping pace with them. But that's not bothering me, because the reality is Liverpool might have the best 11. We've got the best squad. And over 38 games, the best squad normally wins. But the sheer amount of luck that Liverpool are getting away with, and the officials, when they're losing after the 90 minutes, they have 8 minutes, 9 minutes of injury time. And isn't it funny that when they're winning after 90 minutes, there's only 2 or 3 minutes of injury time? So it just, that the whole thing is baffling to me. And look, say what you will, and some of you lot might be saying that I'm stretching, but like, the evidence is just there, and it's like you're making it so easy for this team to go in and win the title. And us, on the other hand, well, we all know what happened last year with all the red cards, sending offs and all the silliness, and kicking the ball away, having going down to 10 men again. The Bournemouth, it happened, the Brighton, and us losing points there. All of that just plays into the fact that Liverpool are just favoured. And so it'll be interesting to see where that all goes now, guys. I'm still going with my prediction. I will talk to you guys at half time. Peace out, guys. Right, guys, let's talk a bit of tactics in the midfield. That's where this game's going to be won. And I think with the addition of Rodri, we're really going to see, this is the first time for us to see how the Moreno, Rice midfield and Zumbamendi is going to deal with all of that. And so far, guys, look, no midfield out there has been able to deal with what we've been doing. Just the sheer fact that we've been cutting teams off from playing and getting balls through in our midfield, making it very, very difficult. That's happening for a lot of reasons. Number one, the single pivot of Thomas Partey is gone. And what that means is it's actually made it even harder for teams to play through us. So what we've been doing is we've been running a 2 midfield, we've been running a double with Calafiori and Declan Rice. And it seems like what we have is a situation where at any one point in time, any of those 2 players can get forward and help with the attack. Now, for those of you who was understanding the Declan Rice situation where, you know, he had 7 goals, 9 assists, and then he had 9 goals last season and 10 assists. That's probably going to drop off this season quite a lot because his role has changed. And many people were talking about how his role has not been sort of nailed down in this team. What is he? Is he a 6 or an 8? Is he a pivot 8? Is he an advanced 8? And now we've got season 3 with him, and he's gone into a different role as well. So this is definitely a 2-man midfield where he's more supporting Zumbamendi. And this is what had to happen because, as I said, in the beginning of the season, the biggest experiment was, how are you going to work things without Thomas Partey, yeah? I just see Kenny Ken. What's going on, Ken?
You all
How
right,
you doing,
mate?
bro?
You good,
Yeah,
How
man,
are you,
good,
mate?
good. I'm just shooting a video
You know
here
what,
on the
I'm
channel.
Let me just say one thing on your channel.
Yo,
No one should be surprised by the team selection.
yeah, I know.
I knew SA wouldn't start. I don't think he's done enough to want to start.
Yeah,
and you
I
can't
said
leave
that.
Marino's playing too well to be left out. I think
Yeah.
take away your prejudices
Yeah.
regarding a player and you talk about form. And Marino's in form, he's got to play.
He's got to play. I was just talking about that, said the same thing, man.
Yeah,
It's
mate.
good to see you, bro. All right, nice one. Good to see Kenny Ken there. Just practically saying what I said about Moreno and Trossard in terms of Eze's form. So isn't it nice when all Lagunas are like, know what they're talking about? But in terms of Moreno, it's important to understand, guys, he is the key to making this thing work. He is the key to blocking off everything that City are going to be trying to do. And quite frankly, I'm interested to see how Pep Guardiola is going to deal with this, because he hasn't beaten Arsenal in 3 years. And so far, Arteta's got the better of him. So this game really is going to be about how is Pep going to combat this Arsenal midfield. Zumbamendi gives him another problem. It gives him a number issue. Remember, all those teams, Liverpool, City, they all wanted Zumbamendi as well. So really, that's going to be the key to it, guys. Things are getting kind of busy here, so I'll catch up with you guys soon. Right, guys, it's Arsenal 0, Man City 1. Not the start that we wanted. In fact, it's been a very frustrating game. Pepper's come in, and his game plan is basically to just try to overload the midfield. It's kind of what teams don't like to do against us, because then it forfeits you any pressing responsibility. So City haven't really pressed us much on the back line. They've tried to congest the midfield to make it difficult for Arsenal to move the ball in there, and we haven't really played our part in that. You know, we've not got the ball to Madueke when we should have. We're struggling in transition in the pivot. So Zumbamendi has hardly had any of the ball. He's in space sometimes, but we're just not even going there. A lot of it is indicative of us just not playing with a natural 10. There's no Wanyeri, no Odegaard, or no Eze at the 10 position. So the ball just seems to be stifling in the midfield. And even when there's holes and gaps, we're not getting the ball through there. So everything just looks snail speed. There's passes on at some times. Madueke not really even given the ball in the first 25 minutes. He started to come alive towards the end of the first half. And again, this is the 3rd week running where he's looked our most dangerous player. Only God knows what we're going to look like when Saka comes back, and then you've got the option to put Madueke on the left. I still think that that's probably going to be your best choice right now, but honestly, it's not looking good out there. We're just not creating anything. The transition build-up play is so slow, and City has stopped piling the midfield. So Arteta's going to have to come up with a plan. We're going to have to either get Ethan on or put Eze on in the number 10 and try to work the ball in tight spaces and manage that, because we just don't look solidified on the ball. And then try to get something going on that left-hand side. I thought what Trossard's been doing has been helpful, but again, no natural threat on that left-hand side. With Madueke, you just have to keep doing what you're doing towards the end of the first half and feeding him more. There's situations where it's 2-on-1 and he's still beating them. He's beating one guy, he's beating two guys. No matter how much people you're putting out there, Madueke is still getting by them. And the benefit is, and I talk about this every week, don't I, in terms of the overload with an overlap with Yuri and Timber. Timber's now pushing upfield and making it easy for Madueke to make those options. So he's being very assertive in his offensive game today, is Yuri and Timber. But that's it, guys. Gyökeres really hasn't had a snapper ball at the moment. He has slightly dropped a bit deeper to pick up the ball in play. He's had some nice touches, 2 or 3 actually, of link play to build the ball in and get others into play. But the ball has come across the 6-yard line about 2 or 3 times, and he's not really been there to tuck it in. So it's just gonna have to be a bit fortunate for what we want in terms of the end product and the end result, because we've not looked threatening at all. And the most disturbing thing for me is, no, we've not looked threatening, but even if you do, you've got Donnarumma, you've got the best goalie in the world there to try and get past. So it's going to be a real tough order for Arsenal to come through in the second half. But we just have to make some personnel changes. Mikel's got to get that done, and then hopefully we'll be able to balance the game off. I did want a goal before half time so we can just focus on winning it in the second half, but now we need a goal in the first 10 minutes so that we can even this one out. I still think we're going to win 2-1, but let's see what's going to happen at full time. Right, guys, the game ends. Arsenal 1, City 1, and to be honest with you, I think both managers got it wrong. It was a situation today where Mikel Arteta, look, and I'm not going to bemoan him for the setup. I get it. I understand why he does it. He's trying to stop these teams from playing against us. And initially, that works. That's the plan. But then when Liverpool happened with that fluke free kick, we lost the game. Today, a mistake by Calafiori giving the ball away led to a counter-attack. Arsenal go down 1-0. So all these things just puts your plan, everything that you've worked on with this midfield, it puts it into the bin. And then Arsenal find themselves in a situation where you need a goal, but your entire structure of tactics and setup is defensive. You've got 3 defensive midfielders on there. None of them had a good game today. I'm thinking about Declan Rice, Moreno and Zubimendi. None of them turned up today. And unfortunately, the game just had to completely switch on its head in order for Arsenal to survive this. Now, did that work? Yes, it did, because he changed it early, and then by doing that, he was able to get Eze and Martinelli. Saka, I'm not sure. I don't understand why he put Saka on there and took Madueke off. The thing about Saka is, first of all, he ain't played in a month, and you can see that on there. Secondly, when Saka gets the ball, he wants to pass first. When Madueke gets the ball, he wants to take on defenders first. So the 2 different philosophies there in those players in that position, and I don't think Madueke should have been taken off. I don't bemoan Saka coming on, but I just think the option at the time was the wrong one to take. But that being said, Pep Guardiola's mistake was, with half an hour to go, he's shutting up shop, he's taken all of his attackers off, and then Arsenal get back into the game, and City is in a situation where they've got nothing. They've got nothing up front. So I think both managers tactically got it wrong today. But the situation with Arsenal is, this is the second time we've played, obviously, Liverpool and City, who had not beaten us in the last 2 years. And then we've gone a goal down and found ourselves in this position where setting up with 3 defensive midfielders have got you in a hole. Now, the question for me is, with all the wealth of attackers that we've got, should you be starting the game more aggressively? You're at home here. I get why at Anfield you set up like this. I get it. But you're at home at the Emirates, and there's no reason to start 3 defensive midfielders. You've got to go on the front foot, get attacking, set up that system critically to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And we didn't do that today. The approach was too conservative. We went down again and we got into a hole. So look, we got out of jail in this one. I don't even know who my man of the match is. I'll do nightcap on Monday evening, and I'll talk about the player ratings then. But for now, frustrating, but I'm happy we got out with a draw. Speak to you guys later.
We made it this far, so I can't complain. Let's take, let's take